Hi, this is Mr. Haig, and today I'm going to teach you how to layer and blend smoothly using acrylic paints. What I've got here is I have an anatomical face, which is a face basically without the skin, which sounds like something out of a horror movie. But how this helps us as artists is it allows us to realise and understand the actual flow of the face. If we understand the flow of the face, we understand in what direction we need to paint. Effectively, what we need to do is make sure that our brush is just following the contours of the face. The closer together that they are, that means the darker the tone will be on the face. So let's get started on this now. I'm going to use purple as my colour. You could use any colour, but it's a rich dark tone. And I'm going to start off in an area which I think is the darkest area, which I know is the darkest area because it's the lines are very close together. And then I'm going to very smoothly apply my purple, following the lines as you can see here, like so. When your brush gets dry, just reapply. Okay, so that's a dark area, but let's have a look at an area where it starts to move into a lighter area. We know that's going to be a lighter area because the lines start to either fade out or become less tight together. So, look over here, I have now just mixed to the side of my purple a little bit of the white. And then we need to start applying that just slightly over the top. Again, when your brush starts to dry, you need to apply more paints. However, I'm going to mix in a little bit more white here. Again, to the side of my last mix. Now, I'm just going to take off, there's a bit too much purple left over from my brush. So I'm just going to roll that out and make that right by adding just a little bit more white to that tone. It's a little bit of trial and error. You'll notice that I'm rolling my brush around quite a lot. And that's to make sure the paint is even in its colour. Now, I talked about having a dry brush. Sometimes that can work for you for blending. I'm going to show you. At the moment, you can see that there's too much difference between the two tones that I've put down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the excess. I'm using my hand, but you can use a piece of tissue paper. I'm taking the excess off on my brush, and while it's still wet, I'm actually going to blend with the dry brush between the colours. And as you can see, it creates an additional tone and helps create a gradient effectively. Okay, so we zoom in onto that. You can see, so my next stage is to add a little bit more white onto there. And then you can start to apply the same technique, smooth strokes. Okay, so we're starting to build up a little bit of smooth paint, blending, gradients, and you could carry on using the same technique throughout the painting, identifying where the lighter areas are and where the darker areas are.